A very warm good evening to all of you out there. I hope you can hear me clearly. Just let me know if I'm audible to all of you. Hi, Kesar. Good evening. Amal, good evening. Welcome on board once again. Go to Siddhant Mukhopadhyay. Hi, Siddhant. Shreya, Ashwin. Good to see you people once again on board with us. Sam, Shurunil Bishwas, okay, Dipesh, good evening to all of you. Good evening, Danesh. Hi, Danesh. Ashwin, Shreya, all of you. Okay, okay, good to know that I am audible. All right. Hi, Dipesh. Okay, so welcome to the session today once again, and we are here to wrap things up confidently with trust, with faith that we are going to rock the show tomorrow. On that note, I am Pradeep Gupta. Welcome all of you on board at BYJU'S Exam Prep. This is going to be our last round of revision of English for TISSNET 22. श्री विष्णु नमस्ते नमस्ते विष्णु उम्मीद करता हूँ आप अच्छे हैं खुश रहिए और कल के एग्जाम में बहुत अच्छा करके आइए प्रिंस हाय प्रिंस श्रीजा दत्ता गुड इवनिंग श्रीजा गुड इवनिंग ओके So we have been discussing quite a few questions from TISSNET previous year's paper, and today we are going to sum up everything, whatever we started to discuss at the outset. So we are going to take things forward, and today I will bring to you another set of questions so that we can wrap up the things with confidence. Just in case you have any problem, we are going to do the discussion in the due course of time. We will continue with the discussion, and side by side we will solve the questions also. Blogging Life says Namaste Sarji, बहुत खुश रहिए Mr. Blogging Life. Namaste to all of you. Priya, good evening. Good evening, Priya. Okay. So the response time is Priya says, I need motivation. तुमको मैंने motivation यहीं से भर दिया. Bag full of motivation for you. If that is okay with you. Have you got the motivation, the bag? Okay. Let me courier it. Motivation comes when you solve questions, when you have confidence. Right? The more mocks you solve, the bigger the motivation. Right? I wish you all the best. Don't worry, tomorrow you're going to rock it, Priya. All right? God is with you. भवानी शंकर गुड इवनिंग गुड इवनिंग गुड इवनिंग भवानी आपका नाम लिया देखो आई हैव प्रेड टू गॉड भवानी शंकर ओके सो मे माँ भवानी हेल्प यू ऑल ऑफ यू मे गॉड ब्लेस यू with nice and good score in TISSNET. All right. With that being said, let us start the session today. And here comes the first question. So today we will try to discuss a few questions from the vocab side, from the reasoning side. We will discuss a few critical reasoning questions. We will discuss a few vocab questions. And also we will be solving a few ParaJumble questions. Now the ParaJumble questions in TISSNET is quite easy. I will not say tough, but tricky, yes. So if you just look at the questions properly, you will be able to get the answers all right. बिल्कुल लाएंगे Arpan, we are going to bring you classes for the relevant exams, don't you worry. In fact, we are starting a series on CMAT via VA questions. I will be taking up a few VA questions from CMAT, and our eminent faculty members will take up questions from the other areas of CMAT, from LR and quants, and we are going to start the series from March onwards. So please stay tuned with me. बहुत सारा सीखने को मिलेगा, बहुत कुछ questions हम साथ में solve करने वाले हैं. All right. So here comes the first question, and please अपने दोस्तों को बुला के लेके आइए. Please call your friends to join us. The session is going to, become more exciting in the due course of time. What is the question? क्या निकालना है? Synonym निकालना है अपने को, isn't it? For the word underlined in the statement given below. What is the question? He was always looking to save money. After all, one needed to be frugal if one wanted to build a successful business. If you want to make a successful business, do you spend more money? Do you waste money? Or do you spend money as much as it is necessary? So the question is as much as it is necessary. And you need to be what? You need to be wise. Yes, that is okay. Somebody said wise. Thrifty is a synonym for frugal. It means to spend as much as necessary. Okay, not to waste money. That is thrifty. Wise means, you know what wise is? Being clever, using money with mind. Economic. Now, here comes a trick. You have to know the difference between economical and economic. Okay, the word is economic. It means related to economics. But the moment you say economical, it means thrifty. But the word is economic over here, so it is related to the subject economics. All right. Prudent means wise. So prudent and wise, they can be served on the same platter. They are the same word. So over here, the best word would be thrifty, which actually means to spend as much as necessary, which is a synonym for frugal. Hence, A should have been the answer. Okay. Had economical been an option, tab मामला हमारा फंस जाता. But we have economic over here, which is related to economics. So among all the choices, the best choice happens to be A. Please be very careful of the tricks, the tricky words, the words which are very, very close. Okay, so most of us would have marked economic because it comes very close to being wise and prudent and spending less money. Had the word been economical, the thing would have been different. Okay, but here it is economics. So between A and C, we are going to stick with A. That was the trick over here. So A should have been the answer. Okay. Trijite is not economical as you can see in this context. It should have been economical. Had the word been economical, okay, then it would have been easy, right? That is why we should choose 50. Yes, there is no need to be nervous at all, Shurunil, right? The more you get, now क्या होता है जब हम the panic button जब हम press करते हैं तब हम थोड़ा सा we get confused among the options available. So look at the options very carefully and do some situation analysis. थोड़ा सा situation analysis कर लेंगे and that will take you to the actually the right answer. Farhan is asking me what is frugal. So frugal actually means to spend only as much as necessary, not to waste money. Being frugal, उतना ही खर्चा करेंगे जितना जरूरत है. So that is frugal, and exactly the same meaning is thrifty. Thrifty has the same meaning. That is why A should have been the answer. All right. निशांत कल की क्लास आज कर ले रहे हैं, right? So आज हमारे साथ बने रहिए, and I think पेपर तो कल देना ही ना आपने, राइट? सो आज हम लास्ट मिनट रिवीजन कर ले रहे हैं, कल जाकर के पेपर देंगे, राइट? ओके, लेट्स लुक एट क्वेश्चन नंबर 2. The first question was based on synonym. Now this question is based on antonym. Select the antonym for the word underlined in the statement. Again, don't be nervous. Read the question properly. Try to do the situation analysis over here and then look at the options. I'm telling you, you're going to get it absolutely confidently. हिंदी में कंजूस कह सकते हैं, कंजूस भी कह सकते हैं. बड़ा खूबसूरत सा वर्ड है हिंदी में, मितव्ययी, जो कम खर्च करे, राइट? ओके, so Ashwin, the answers are coming in thick and fast over here. B. All right, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, और भी कुछ आंसर्स आ रहे हैं क्या? Okay, so let us look at the question. The question is, they did not know which direction to go in. They were at an impasse about the release date of the film. Okay? They did not know. Impasse means no scope of moving ahead. Okay? There is a blockage. We are looking at a block. Okay? There is a block, right? You can't move ahead. So, can it be deadlock? Yes. Can it be breakthrough? Breakthrough actually means to have an achievement, to go through something. To go through something. Okay? It talks about a way out, breakthrough. Obstruction means impediment, obstacle or obstruction, same as deadlock. Debate is a different word altogether when you are actually either going for the motion or against the motion. You are having a debate, some kind of argument is going on. So this is odd. Obstruction, deadlock, these are the synonym for impasse. The only word that falls in this category, the antonym, the only word that can be the possible antonym for impasse is breakthrough. Hence, B is our answer. Okay, deadlock would be a synonym. Absolutely right, Trajan. Right? So that's why we need B, breakthrough. We need an antonym. Opposite. So the opposite of impasse can be breakthrough, giving way. So B is the answer. I hope you have understood this question. It was an easy question, right? There is nothing technical involved in it. So such questions should be solved in less than a minute's time. Okay? But make sure that you read the question properly before you key in the right answer. Alright? थोड़ा सा पढ़ के श्योर होकर के फिर मार्क करेंगे. Okay? जो question जितना ज़्यादा easy होता है, right? The tendency to get those questions wrong is always higher. Alright? So read the question properly and then answer the question. एक और करते हैं चलो. Okay, now this question is based on critical reasoning. Let's do a CR question. Identify which of the given option cannot be definitely inferred. Cannot be definitely inferred from the passage given below. Shurunil, I hope you get the same level of questions tomorrow, right? They are TISSNET questions taken from past year papers. So I think the level of questions will be more or less the same. And if luck is going to be on your side, if Lady Luck smiles on you, you are going to get an easy set. A set which is doable. I will not say easy. I would rather stick to using the word doable. जो करने लायक होगा, you will be able to get such paper. May God bless you. Okay. If the concepts are clear, Shurunil, nothing is difficult. You have to work on the concepts. Let's read the question. It's a CBT, dear. It's a computer-based test. Okay. Saurav, so many C's. Varun, D. All right. B, C. All right. Quite a few answers are coming through. Let us look at the question. The question says, the group was wary. Wary means aware, right? Or careful. The group was wary of taking the course. Okay, they were very careful of taking. We are talking about a particular course which the group was supposed to take up. The expectation set by the professor was so high. The expectation was so high that they seemed near impossible to achieve. Okay. There were many readings given and the assignment seems to focus on anything but the readings. It was almost as if the readings were a takeoff point only The group was worried that their cumulative data point would suffer as a result of taking this course. So we are talking about a course which was supposed to be taken by a group, and the group was quite careful whether to take up the course or not. Why? Because the expectation of the professor who was actually responsible for this course, it was so high that this seemed near impossible to achieve. And what did this course comprise of? What was the expectation? It was expected that there would be many readings, right? And the assignment seemed to focus on anything but the readings. It was almost as if the reading were takeoff point only. It was just a starting point. The group was worried that their cumulative grade point, if they take this course, if they took this course, their cumulative grade point would take a plunge downwards. Okay, so that was the worry. The question is, from the option given below, identify which one cannot be inferred. All the options can be inferred from the passage barring one. A says the students may not take the course if there are so many inhibitions and doubts playing at the back of the mind of the students. They may end up not taking the course because the course seems to be difficult and tough. So this can be inferred from the passage. Can we keep this in consideration? Yes or no? Yes. The readings were only guidepost for the assignment. Look at this word. The readings were a takeoff point only. From here, we can definitely infer that they were only guidepost for the assignment. Even this can be takeoff point. Take from where you take off, from where you start actually. The starting point. From where you begin. That is the takeoff point. Tech talk. Alright? The professor was very strict. Now hang on over here. Just because the expectation of the professor was high, right? Now, I being a teacher, I being your faculty, right? I may have an expectation that you will do good in TISSNET exam tomorrow. But does that make me strict? Well, it's a very generic statement. So this does not make the professor strict. All right? The group does not have faith in its ability to do well. If the group is wary, definitely it is introspecting whether it can take the course and perform to the best of its ability. So there is always a question mark. Right? So all these can be inferred from the passage. Only one point which cannot be inferred from the passage is C. The professor was strict. Hence C should have been the answer. Okay. Now you answered all the questions easily. Most of you answered C. Now you must know why C is right and why the others are wrong. On what ground are we going to eliminate A, B and D? Okay. So reading the passage, reading between the lines and seeing through the essence of each and every line becomes important. All right. So this question was quite easily done. C should have been the answer over here. All right. Okay. Identify the correct order of the following statement to make a coherent paragraph. The lead sentence has been given. So this is a ParaJumble question wherein the introductory sentence has already been given to you. Right? Now, you just have to figure out the correct sequence in order to make a coherent paragraph. One question from ParaJumble. Can we do it? Okay, Nishant, I saw your question. Give me some time. Let me come back to the question after, a couple of questions on ParaJumble, if that is okay with you. Majid is the first to answer this. He says A is the answer, sir. Ashwin also says A. Okay. What about the others? C. Tech Talk says A. Kaiser says C. All right. Crown Music says B. Now, let us look at the question. कैसे begin हो रही है? You are what you eat is becoming clearer with every nutritional study. So, when we see the nutritional study, every study that deals with nutrition, it tells you you are what you eat. Okay. This actually takes you to B. A talks about in brief, so it cannot be a sentence that continues the idea. You have to talk about eating and nutrition, right? So which option talks about it? B. However, the problem for most of us in eating a healthy diet is that food is cultural and we tend to eat foods that our culture has instilled in us as good, whether or not they are consistent with these studies. Now, if you look at the options carefully, you will see that C and D forms a pair. Physically, even mentally. Look at these catchphrases. Physically, even mentally. So C plus D, it forms a mandatory pair. So any option that has CD, right, should actually give you the answer. Now, if you go by the options, only A has this CD pair coming, right? So if you look at this particular, segment through and through, from the introductory sentence, you come to B, and then you join these two, C and D. Physically, athletes are learning to avoid carbohydrates if they require burst of speed in their sports. D talks about even mentally, look at the transition. Even mentally, what we eat can affect performance as many foods such as sugar slow us down and tend to make us lethargic. Sometimes we must avoid, especially while taking exams. Now, from D, you can move to E very safely because we are talking about deficiencies in B12, thiamine, zinc, and all these, which result in lower mental performance, right? D can be an extension of thought that stems out from D. E can be an extension that stems out of D. So CDE is a mandatory pair. A should give you the conclusion, hence A should have been the answer. Right from here, right, you could discern, you could understand that A should have been the option over here. So this was an easy question, right? Can we do one more ParaJumble question? Ready? Let's look at this one. This is the lead sentence. Nishan, the lead sentence was given there. Yes. So we cannot miss the lead sentence. Bhavani Shankar has keyed in A. Lavya Nath has keyed in A. Ashwin says A. Apurva says A. Okay, beautiful answers. Yes, I agree. I agree. A and D happens to be the same. Yeah, so it's either A or D. There's a misprint. How about this? Let me correct it. B, C, A, D, E. Okay. Thank you for correcting me. Thank you for correcting me, Kaisar. Thank you for correcting me. All right. Let's look at question number 5. All of you, most of you have marked A, and guess what? A is the right option. Why? Look at the expression. Prague is famous for its beautifully preserved Baroque architecture. Right? We are talking about Baroque architecture, and this is what Prague is famous for. All right. But it also boasts impressive monument adorned with evocative paintings of an even earlier era. So this pronoun it, it actually refers to Prague. But it also boasts of. So the lead sentence plus be, right, is the pair. But it also boasts impressive monument adorned with evocative paintings of an even earlier era. From here, you can come to D. Now, if you look at D, Czech painter Zdeněk Burian captured the imagination of Central Europeans with hundreds of carefully researched evocative paintings and thousands of book and magazine illustrations of dinosaurs, early humans, and adventure scenes. Czech painter Zdeněk Burian. D and A, if you look at D and A, right, they are closely knit. D and A is a mandatory pair. Some 400 of his work. Whose work? We are talking about Mr. Burian. Okay, so DA is a mandatory pair. So it's B followed by D followed by A, and that comes good in A. You don't have to read further. But just for the sake of ParaJumble ko banana hai, right? So it's D followed by A, and A, C follows A. The US paleontologist Stephen Gould ranked Burian's work alongside that of American Charles R. Knight, the world's most celebrated painter of dinosaurs. Okay, and from here we can move to E. Burian too earned a cult following comparable with Charles Knight. So if you look at C and E, look at the thought flow, they also make a mandatory pair. So it's DA, CE, and that leads you to A. Quite easily done. Okay, so this was your answer. Oishika, your theory comes from the fact but is a conjunction. How can but start a sentence if I am not wrong? There are situations, Oishika, where you will find a conjunction starting a sentence. Those are special situations. It is absolutely possible in grammar, right? You can start a sentence with but the context has to be clear, right? The context has to be clear. All right. Let's understand this with the help of a grammar sentence, okay? Suppose if I say, if the driver had not been careful, a serious accident would have taken place. Taken place or occurred, whatever. If the driver had not been careful. Now, can I write the same thing like this? But for the driver's carefulness, But for the driver's carefulness, the latter part of the sentence remains the same. A serious accident would have occurred. Now, this structure, but for the driver's carefulness, means if the driver had not been careful. So, you see, I have started a sentence with but, and this is absolutely fine. It is making a condition. All right? I hope that answers the question, Ushika. Okay. Let us look at this one. Don't forget to look at the lead sentence over here. The South Indian rural suburbs have transformed radically. Okay. Ashwin and Srija, they have just keyed in D to be the right option. Okay, let us start the discussion. This question is pretty interesting. And this question moves back and forth in time. Let me give you the first trick and clue, right? आपको मैं clue देता चलूंगा if that helps you understand the perspective of the question. This question moves back and forth in time. And how do we know that? Look at the structure. The structure says, Harshit says, sir, is it going to be C? Let us see, Harshit, let us see. Let us see, sir, whether it is C or not. Alright? Okay. The South Indian rural suburbs have transformed radically. Look at the tense. Have transformed. The present perfect tense. And how do you know? How do you know? If you look at B, remove this. Okay, a decade ago, Whitefield, a remote suburb of Bangalore, made headlines on those rare occasions when gangs of armed bandits burst into homes at night. So Whitefield is a very popular and famous place in Bangalore. So a decade ago, it was not a happening place. It was a remote suburb of Bangalore, and it used to be, robbed at every drop of a hat, and armed bandits and robbers would actually burst into homes. And that was the time when Whitefield made headlines. Look at A. Today, that former stretch of farmland. Can I have your attention over here? That former stretch of farmland, what are we talking about? Aren't we talking about Whitefield? Can you see the connection? Can you see the connection? Right? Can we now say it is B, E? Yes? Today, that former stretch of farmland and scattered houses is disturbed only by, now the same place is again being disturbed, but now for a different reason. by giant cranes, cement mixer, and trucks piled up with white sand. Now, giant cranes, cement mixers, trucks piled up with white sand. Why do you need them? You need them for this. Buildings of glass and steel are rising all over, right? Buildings of glass and steel are rising all over. So E and C is a mandatory pair. Yes or no? Right? As Bangalore's fast expanding outsourcing industry radiates far and beyond the city. So B plus E plus C, what is the option? Can we say it is C? Let us read more. We don't have any other option that gives you this, line of thought, isn't it? Now we are talking about, now A talks about the main building. It has to have a referent. Look at D. Perhaps the most impressive spot in Whitefield is the campus of SAP Labs. Now this SAP Labs and the main building, they are directly connected. So DNA again is a pair. So DA is a pair. So now can we say that the option should be C? It makes sense now, right? Everything has to be backed up by solid logic. तुम logic लगाओगे तो ParaJumble का ऐसा कोई भी question नहीं है जो तुम नहीं कर सकता. I can challenge it, right? Logic सही रहेगा तो questions आराम से होते चले जाएंगे. But if the logic is, all over the place, then we may face a problem. The question was easy. Don't you think the question was easy? And it was really an interesting question, right? And you could have done it had you read the options properly, isn't it? The reading the option becomes important. I hope you enjoyed the question, the sixth question. Don't forget the logic behind, all right? Okay, that was question 6 for you guys. एक और challenge ले लें? Ready? Okay. Fill in the blanks with the most appropriate option. क्या कर सकते हैं? Now this is a question on spellings. Okay. And don't disappoint me, it is going to be an easy one. I want you people to pick the right option. Let's do it. Yes, Shrija, please don't make haste. Be calm and composed. You will have so much of time to actually navigate through the question sets. Take your time and then mark the right option. कुछ भी जल्दबाजी में कभी भी हम चीजों को खराब नहीं करेंगे. All right, you have to promise me that, all of you. You have to promise me today that you're not going to hurry up. There's no need to hurry. Take your time and go for the kill. आराम से. Okay? All right. So most of you have answered C. Entrepreneurship is the word, and C is the right option. To meet the goals of Atmanirbhar Bharat, the universities have started entrepreneurship study programs. So C gives you the right spelling. Okay, A, B, and D are pathetic options. C is the right one. Entrepreneurship. This was the answer. Congratulations, you got this one right. Okay, so 2 tough questions, 1 easy question, or 2 easy question, 1 tough question. So that is how, even life is full of, the crest and troughs. So this paper, this question was on the easier side. Can we look at one more? Okay. Question 8 is about idioms and phrases. It says replace the phrase in bold with the correct option given below. I need to make up the place. ये देखो बायजूस टीम मैसेज कर रही है कि 100 प्लस वॉचिंग बस 72 लाइक्स. यार कुछ लाइक्स तो हम भी डिजर्व करते हैं भाई. Please hit the like button, guys. We need your encouragement so that I can and our team can come up with many such interesting sessions for you. Okay, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel. Please do so. Replace the phrase in bold with the correct option given below. Okay, all of you have marked C, 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 B. Okay, all right. C. Okay. I need to make up the place. Now this word, this phrase, I'm sorry, it is not a word, make up. आप use किसके लिए करते हो? Make up or cosmetics, right? You don't use it for place. Okay, you want to make a place look beautiful, you do up the place. Okay, you don't make up the place. So this is a wrong idiom used for place. Makeup plus cosmetic plus somebody, do up plus something, right? This is my short form. SB stands for somebody and STH stands for something. Okay, so makeup and cosmetics, of course, somebody. We're talking about a place, so do up should have been the right answer choice. Okay, hence D. None of the options fit the bill over here. Okay, so we are going to stick to the use of C. All right, question 8 was easy. To enhance the beauty, to make the place look more beautiful, Stuti, this is what it means. All right, okay. So question 8 was also quite easily done. Moving on to the next question. Okay, now we are going to deal with something heavy, something suave and polished, right? An RC passage, right? So let us read the passage. I will give you 30 seconds to read the first slide and then I am going to take you to the next slide. All right? Okay. So 30 seconds starts now. Let me take you to the next slide, guys. Bhavani, cook up actually means to make up a story which is false. If you make up a false story, if you lie by using, a wrong sentence, you're cooking up something. Okay? To make up a wrong story, to create a wrong story or a statement, you're cooking it up. It is there in your imagination, something which is not true. Yes, Kaisar, it's a lie. When you cook up something, it's a lie. झूठ बोल रहे हैं. Okay, I'm changing the slide. Yes, Ashwin, this happens to be a previous TISSNET RC passage. You can find it. All right. Let me take you to the first RC slide and we are going to solve and understand this passage together. How does it start? Before the grass has thickened on the roadside verges and leaves have started growing on trees, is a perfect time to look around and see just how dirty Britain has become. So the author is ruining the fact that Britain has become dirty. The pavements are stained with chewing gum that has been spat out, and the gutters are full of discarded fast food cartons. Years ago, I remember traveling abroad and being saddened by the plastic bags, discarded bottles, and soiled nappies at the edge of every road. Nowadays, Britain seems to look at least as bad. What has gone wrong? The question is, what has gone wrong? The problem is that the rubbish created by our increasingly mobile lives lasts a lot longer than before. If it is not cleared up and properly thrown away, it stays in the undergrowth for years. A semi-permanent reminder of what a tatty little country we have now. Firstly, it is estimated that 10 billion plastic bags have been given to shoppers. These will take anything from 100 to 1000 years to rot. However, it is not as if there is no solution to this. A few years ago, the Irish government introduced a tax on non-recyclable carrier bags and in 3 months reduced their usage by 90%. Okay, let me read the passage to you guys and then I'm going to take you to the questions. All right. When he was a minister, Michael Meacher attempted to introduce a similar arrangement in Britain. The plastics industry protested, of course. However, they need not have bothered. The idea was killed before it could draw breath, leaving supermarkets free to give away plastic bags. What is clearly necessary right now is some sort of combined initiative, both individual and collective, before it is too late. The alternative is to continue sliding downhill until we have a country that looks like a vast municipal rubbish tip. We may well be at the tipping point, yet we know that people respond to their environment. If things around them are clean and tidy, people behave cleanly and tidily. If they are surrounded by squalor, squalor means dirt and filth, they behave squalidly. Now, much of Britain looks pretty squalid. What will it look like in 5 years? The author leaves us with this question. Now, can we look at the next question? It is general knowledge that people behave according to what they see around them. B, people are like a vast municipal rubbish tip. People are clean and tidy, people are squalid. Okay, so most of you have keyed in the answer. It's A, okay. All right, all right. Look here, the answer is A for the simple reason it is present over here. If you read from here, people respond to their environment. If things around them are clean and tidy, they behave cleanly and tidily. If they are surrounded by squalor, they behave squalidly. So that takes us to option A. People behave according to what they see around them. B says people are like a vast municipal rubbish tip. This is not what the passage discusses. People are clean and tidy. Again, this is not what the passage discusses. People are squalid. Nothing has been said about people being squalid. So B, C, and D are out. We are going to stick to A, and that is your answer option. And most of you have got the answer right. Question 9, most of you have got this one right. Can I take you to the next question? What did Michael Nietzsche do? Tornil says A, all right. Ashwin says B, all right. Nidhi has a question, sir, what does squalid mean? Nidhi, squalid means dirty. जो चीज बड़ी गंदी होती है उसको हम squalid या dirty या filthy कह सकते हैं. All right, so that is the meaning. B, 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 all right. Okay. The answer is B, right? A and B, there is a very close contest between these two. If I take you back to this part, Michael Nietzsche attempted to introduce a similar arrangement. Look at the word over here, right? We cannot miss out the words and how they have been used in the passage. Michael Nietzsche attempted means he tried to. Attempted means he tried to. Attempted to introduce a similar arrangement. Okay? But the idea was killed before it could draw breath. So that takes you to option B. He tried to follow the Irish example with a tax on plastic bags. He tried to. He could not issue it because the idea could not even draw its first breath. So A is out of question. You must stick to B. All right? Yes, that is the right explanation, Zaka. Absolutely right. Spot on. Let us look at the next question, guys. According to the writer, years ago, things used to be what? Okay, so people have started keying in the answers. C, Bhavani Shankar says B, Simran C, Ashwin C, B, C. Okay, so the majority have gone with C and quite a few have marked B to be the option. Let me take you back to the very first slide of the RC passage over here, right? If you just pay attention to this part, years ago, I remember traveling abroad as being saddened by the plastic bags, discarded bottles, and soiled nappies at the edge of every road. Nowadays, Britain seems to look at least as bad. Nowadays, Britain seems to look at least as bad. So earlier on, Britain used to be clean and tidy. Britain used to be cleaner than most of the other towns and cities. But now, Britain's condition, the health and the hygiene factor, the sanitary factor, the conditions that has deteriorated. Okay. So carrying the idea forward, which is mentioned in these couple of lines, can we say, yes, the author traveled and said it was bad, and now Britain is at least bad, right? So that takes us to option C, was abroad as compared to Britain. Is it C? Worse abroad, things used to be worse abroad as compared to Britain. Now Britain is as bad, okay, as the other cities. Okay, D says worse, but now things are better abroad. We cannot say that, right? We don't have any information about abroad and how things are now there. Better abroad as compared to Britain. We do not know whether things are better abroad or not. The same abroad as compared to Britain. We can't say this either. What we can stick to safely is C, worse abroad as compared to Britain years ago. Now Britain is as worse as the other towns and cities. So C should have been the answer. So there was one line in passage, can you explain that, which was something Britain seems to look at least as bad. Okay. Was it this slide, Archana? Are you referring to this part of the passage, Archana? Now, if I have understood your question properly, Archana, I think this is the part you're referring to. It says, years ago, I remember traveling abroad as being saddened by the plastic bags, discarded this and this. Nowadays, Britain seems to look at least as bad. It was not as bad as these conditions before. Now Britain's condition, as far as the sanitary condition of Britain is concerned, that has deteriorated. Exactly this is being said in these couple of lines. All right? Okay. The next question for the writer, the problem is that. What is the problem? What is the problem? So some of you have marked B, some of you have marked A, C, D. All right, all right, all right. If I could show you the right portion of the RC passage, you will be able to see the question and the answer yourself. The question is for the writer, problem is. Now, if I can take you to the very first slide, this part. The problem is that the rubbish created by our increasingly mobile lives lasts a lot longer than before. The rubbish lasts a lot longer than before. So from this part, can we safely mark A to be the answer? Rubbish lasts longer than it used to, and this is the very problem the author refers to, right? I hope you've understood why it should be A and why not B, C, and D. Okay? Britain is a tatty country, squalid or filthy. Rubbish is not cleared up. This is not what it means. Our society is increasingly mobile. Maybe the case, but that is not what the problem is. Maybe the case, but that is not what the problem is. The problem is the rubbish lasts longer than it used to. Hence, the right answer option should have been A. Okay? I hope this question is clear to you. Okay. Moving on to the next question, guys. Aishwarya, it happens. We tend to miss a lot of things, and this shows our preparedness, and this shows that are we shaky or are we confident, right? Please don't be shaky. Read the passage very carefully in order to zero in the right answer option, guys, right? Read the passage carefully, and the passages are really going to be easy, let me tell you that. Question number 13, let's answer this question quickly. What does the writer think? Okay, let us look at the options quickly. The writer thinks we need to work together to solve the problem. B, we are at the tipping point. C, it is too late to do anything. And D says there is no alternative. Now, what does the writer think? If you just look at this part of the passage, what is clearly necessary right now is some sort of combined initiative, both individual and collective, before it is too late. So the writer believes in teamwork. The writer believes in collective effort and collective endeavor being taken. So can we now safely say that the writer thinks we need to work together to solve the problem? Can this be the answer? Of course, it is absolutely glaring looking at you. This is the answer option. We are at the tipping point. Yes, that's what he says as well. But what is the context? This is the context. It is too late to do anything. This is not what we are going to stick to. There is no alternative. The writer says that we have to work together in order to solve the problem, okay, of bad sanitation. So A was the answer to question number 13. All right. So this is a wrap from my side. I think we have followed all the questions pretty closely, and let me wish you all the very best for tomorrow. Please be calm and composed. ज़्यादा परेशान होने की जरूरत नहीं है आपको. This is going to be the key to success, for tomorrow, to all of you. Please be calm and composed. Read the questions properly, even if you know the answer. Give the question, show the question at least this minimum respect of reading it at least twice before you actually, okay? Questions को respect करना बड़ा जरूरी है. Even if you know the option, respect each and every question. This is, I'm telling you from my experience. Read the question carefully. Being confident is absolutely fantastic, but don't be overconfident, right? Let me end my, session with a lovely story. अंडे की कहानी है. कुतुब मीनार पे चढ़ गया. It jumped, नहीं टूटा. दोबारा चढ़ा. It jumped, फिर नहीं टूटा. तीसरी बार चढ़ा. Jumped, टूट गया. पहले दो बार तो कॉन्फिडेंस था. तीसरी बार में ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया था उसके अंदर. All right. So just on a lighter note, don't follow it. Be calm and composed, and you will rock tomorrow. Let me tell you. Don't forget to join our Telegram group, guys. Okay. Most of you have joined us. Make this group happen. Join a Telegram group, and we do so many discussion in that group, and you will really enjoy being a part of it. Okay. And this is important. 26th 5 p.m. we are going live with the detailed analysis of TISSNET, and you will understand, we will talk about the expected cutoff, exam pattern, what was the LOD and other important stuff. Don't forget to join our mentors tomorrow. The last lab was going on 14 to 23rd. I hope you people might have joined and enjoyed the session. And all those who have done pretty decently in CAT, enrollments are on for the PIWAT program being taken up by Gautam sir and Srinivas sir, one of the most amazing mentors in the industry. Don't forget to join their classes. And CAT 22 batches, people are joining, very, very quickly. And if at all your friends or you are looking forward to writing CAT 22, please enroll now and call on the given number for the details. Please, please, please like the session, comment on it, share it with your friends, and do subscribe to our channel. On that note, this is Pradeep sir, Pradeep Sengupta signing off from BYJU'S Exam Prep. Also, Instagram पे follow करो, Facebook पे, YouTube पे follow करो, वो तुम करते ही हो. Monday, I am going to be live with you once again with yet another exciting session on CMAT verbal ability. Don't forget to join me on Monday, probably at 9 o'clock. All right? All the best, guys, and rock it. Rock TISSNET. Good night and stay blessed. God bless you all.